office, Mr. Hainault. You rumbled my little ruse.
I'm no more a plumber than I am.
Correct, Mr. Hainault. But there is a reason for this masquerade.
Congenital insanity.
I'm part of a gigantic conspiracy. At this very moment, there are thousands of men and women dressed as bees diverting key personnel from their daily routine. What you have on your hands, Mr. Hainault, is not a blocked pipe, but a bloodless coup.
Mrs. Starborgling, would you please leave?
Excuse me.
To summarize our position again, there is no cause for alarm. Best to remain quietly at home until further notice. Coverage of today's events will continue on BBB1, BBB2, and ITB.
You've taken over.
Now we join our cameras outside Buckingham Palace.
You're not going to do anything with the Queen?
Oh, no. No, Her Majesty will be looked after and adored by millions of docile workers. For her, it will be business as usual.
There you had it, a perfect setup for a chicken or wet flowers to come in, and what do we get? A bumblebee. Bumblebee Gags went out with the Andrews sisters. I went out with the Andrews sisters, but who cares?
Gosh, that was a narrow squeak, Peter. You nearly had him. He was a monster. You nearly had him on the back, and then suddenly he twisted away into the reeds and evaded you. Oh, bad luck.
How old are you, Johnny?
42, so just come out to 43 in November.
Yes, I thought so. You know, most lads of your age aren't doing what you're doing.
I know, Peter. I mean, most lads aren't lucky enough to be out in the fresh air by the river, watching their fathers casting their flies expertly on the water. I know that.
Well, when I was 42, Johnny, I was casting about for what my old father used to call a two-legged trout.
Two-legged trout?
It was his little joke. A two-legged trout with long blonde hair.
Something like that, not in these waters.
It was Grandpa's way of alluding to what we men call them.
Ladies.
To be blunt, yes. Up to then, I'd had a pretty full life. Hunting, shooting, fishing, bobsleighing, that sort of thing. But he thought I ought to settle down and marry your mother. Have you ever thought along those lines?
Well, marrying Mummy? No, I mean, it was all really bad to her. That's not allowed.
No, I meant another woman.
But what's the point? Where would I find another woman who's as good as Mummy? I mean, I've never seen anyone as good at gutting fish and jugging hair and plucking fowl.
There's more to life than gutting, jugging, and plucking, Johnny. I think you know what I'm driving at, Johnny. S-E-X.
S-E-X. You mean like when the cock salmon swims upstream and drops his eggs on the ladies?
More or less, yes. I think it's time you started dropping some eggs, sir. Get your tackle out, lad, and find yourself a two-legged trout.
I'm so happy as I am, Peter.
Yes, but supposing you saw some attractive young lady in a skimpy swimsuit splashing around the water there. Wouldn't you feel something?
I feel jolly cross because she'd frighten all the trout, the silly cat.
Oh, I'm not in the water, but supposing she was standing here beside us on the grass.
Well, then her stupid shadow would be on the river and frighten all the fish away.
Well, supposing she was to lie on her back. How would you feel about that?
Well, I suppose that'd be all right if she was very quiet.
What I'm getting at, Johnny, is I think it's time you found yourself a mate. Then one fine day, you could take your own son fishing.
Gosh, that'd be great. And then he could carry my knapsack and my nets and my flies and my rods and everything. That'd be super.
There's one down there now. Look.
Well, what do I do, Peter?
Well, just behave naturally. Go on.
All right, I'll give it a go. She's so small, Pater, I threw her back.